Melati's Island Adventure. Melati was a little girl with a big heart and an even bigger imagination. One sunny morning, she opened her golden map. "Today," she said, "I am going to explore the beautiful islands of Indonesia." The map showed thousands of islands scattered across the blue sea like emerald jewels. Melati arrived in a lush, green jungle where the leaves were larger than umbrellas. Suddenly, a friendly face peeked through the vines. It was Rimba, a happy orangutan with long, shaggy hair. Rimba reached out a hand to welcome Melati to his forest home. Rimba led Melati to a sandy shore on a different island. "Look there," Rimba whispered. On the beach, Melati saw a giant lizard with a long, flickering tongue. It was a Komodo dragon. It moved slowly and proudly across the hot sand, looking just like a real-life dinosaur. The duo traveled to the island of Java. They climbed many stone steps until they reached the top of Borobudur, a magnificent temple. It was covered in stone bells called stupas. "It's like a mountain made of stories," Melati whispered as she looked at the carvings. As the sun began to set, the air filled with the sound of chiming bells and drums. Melati sat down to watch a special show. A bright light shone behind a white screen, and a beautiful shadow puppet danced to the music. "This is Wayang Kulit," Rimba told her. All that exploring made Melati and Rimba very hungry. They found a small stall selling delicious treats. Melati picked up a plate of satay, grilled skewers with yummy peanut sauce. "Terima kasih," she said, which means "thank you" in Indonesian. Deep in the rainforest, Melati and Rimba found something very strange. It was a flower, but it was bigger than Melati's bicycle. It was bright red with white spots and had no leaves at all. "The Rafflesia!" Melati exclaimed. It was the biggest flower she had ever seen. To get to the next island, Melati hopped onto a grand wooden boat called a Pinisi. The boat had many tall masts and white sails that caught the wind. Melati stood at the front, feeling the salty spray of the ocean on her face as the boat glided over the waves. On a quiet, moonlit beach, Melati saw tiny movements in the sand. Hundreds of baby sea turtles were hatching. Melati watched quietly as one tiny turtle used its flippers to crawl toward the crashing waves. "Go, little one, go!" she cheered softly. It was time for Melati to go home, but she knew she would never forget her trip. She gave Rimba a big hug. "Indonesia is a land of wonders," she said. As she sailed away, she looked back at the islands, knowing that adventure was always waiting for her.